Yes. I think everything looks fine. Yes, sounds good. Let's go. Hey everyone, how you doing? Great. So, hey, this is Emmanuel. This is Lema. How are you doing? This is just another day with another page of my comic book, manga slash whatever, Novaterra. So we're going with page number 8. If I do, oh yeah, because I had to add one page. This is page number 8, which originally was page number 7. Now we're working on page number 8. So I'm going to be using this curious brush that I bought the weekend. That essentially it's like a brush pen, but is half like a harder tip. So in theory, I should be able to do very thin lines and very thick lines at the same time with the same brush. So let's see how it goes. Yes. This is looking really nice. And I also bought a new inking bottle, and I realized that my old ink was evaporating a long time ago because I never got to work with it so smoothly. And I will be doing some more inking with the G pen that also gets some really nice effects. It's extremely satisfying to work with a G pen. I understand why the mangakas always use the G pen, because damn, it's such a nice flowy thing. In fact, I'm feeling like I would like to do it some right now. But let me test this guy. The lines are not so thin that as much as I would like to, but they are quite thin. Let's see how it compares with the pen, the 0.05. Still thinner, this one, but the fact that I almost have no need to be swapping pens, it will be such a game changer in terms of speed, because being able to do everything with just the same pen is, oof, it's really time savings. Okay, so I need to make some decisions over here, because one of the main problems that we left-handed have is that we need to work from right to left instead of left to right, because otherwise we'll be smothering all the ink, the pen, everything. So we always need to start working from this side to the left instead of the left to the right. I mean, if you do this, it will be a lot easier in this case, because we in the Western world, we write in that way. We write from left to right. So whenever I start something, I always had this need of working in this way when it's completely counterintuitive to my natural way of my hand. So every so often I need to just wait for the ink to just dry, and I can have another go. Damn, this is so satisfying. Being able to change the thickness of the line with the same brush. And it's not that hard as working with just a regular brush, because that requires way too much control that uh, as much as I have. Sorry, my tongue just blah, blah, blah. Let's put some music. I always forgot to add some music. Oh, let's go with some lo-fi as always. No copyright strike. Uh, there you go. Okay, so there's there's a style of inking that I like to do a lot, is that I like to have the other lines a little bit thicker, similar to the way My Hero Academia does it, but I think they they do extremely thick line for my taste, so I prefer to tone it down. But it's the same concept, because it really helps to visualize what is important, because the higher the contrast between the thickness of the lines, it is easier for the eye to follow the actual importance of the page. Oh, I was still using my glasses. Ironically, my glasses makes it harder for me to paint, because since I need to get so close to the painting, the glasses really make it hard to focus. Yes, very, very, very thin lines. Let me move this so you can see better what I'm doing. So this guy will have a very thick line. Yes, just like that. And I can do this, whoosh, and I have a thick and a thin line in the same go, and that looks beautiful. What do you think, guys? So is anyone around watching the stream? Just let me know if you're around. You have any questions, any ideas? I will gladly answer them. So for this one, I do prefer to use the fine liner. Actually, I need to find a new small rule because the problem with this one, I thought it will be much easier to use, but the problem is that it's so smooth that it slides too much. So I need to press it really hard to maintain precision, and sometimes pressing hard is exactly what makes something fail precision, because you need to make a lot of effort. Boom. So there you go. This is the kind of stuff that requires a lot of patience, because for me, coming from digital art, this will be just something that I will select and let digital brush do all the work. So it's important to just be patient. Be patient. Siento. Hey, hola, ¿qué tal? Okay, so for this is going to be a tricky one because I need to really have a nice selection of thickness of line for this to work. Tengo que elegir muy bien qué es lo que voy a hacer con estas líneas para que funcione. No, mira, esto no cabe aquí atrás. Estaba intentando hacerlo, pero no cabe. Oh, pero puede que así sí. Interesante. No sé para qué sirve esa cuerdita. I don't know. What is this for? ¿Qué es esto? Una página de mi manga Novaterra. Estoy trabajando en vivo en la página. Aún no lo he empezado a publicar, pero cuando ya tenga una buena cantidad de páginas completadas, estaré publicándolo. De momento voy en la página número 8. Creo que publicaré algo cuando vaya como por la mitad, que es como por la página 12. That will be page number 12, the halfway. Ok, entonces ya tengo la principal hecha. Este es el punto de foco visual. This is the focus area. So I need to work out the rest of the composition and align it with what I want to tell. So this scene it's really tricky because hey, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Yes, I'm working on this page. ¿De qué grupo vienes? Lo publiqué en varias partes, entonces. ¿Hablas español? Porque no sé, YouTube me está traduciendo algunos de los comentarios, entonces no estoy seguro si el comentario me está saliendo traducido en español o la traducción está en inglés, entonces no sé. Coméntame. Entonces, por supuesto, el tema principal de esta escena es que es como mostrar un poco el espacio en el que van a estar, que en estos momentos es la parte interior de una nave que está varada en tierra. Ah, perfecto. Porque mi idea de este canal es hacerlo en inglés, porque ya tengo otro canal en español, pero como este cómic, este manga es va a ser publicado en inglés, pues quería hacer un canal donde estar publicando todo esto en inglés, porque si no se iba a confundir mucho el algoritmo con toda la información. Principalmente voy a estarlo publicando en mi propia página web, pero igual lo voy a publicar por todos, por los regulares, tipo Webtoon y esas cosas para generar más tráfico, porque em, el problema de esas plataformas siempre es que al final del día tienen como unas restricciones muy extrañas con el contenido que puedes publicar si no estás trabajando directamente con ellos. Sí, probablemente también por tapas. No sé si por Global Comics. Creo que Global Comics tienes un poco más de complicaciones, entonces no sé si pueda publicar también por allá. Tengo una buena lista de plataformas en las que tengo que analizar bien si quiero publicar por ellas, pero las básicas van a ser tapas, Webtoon, mi propia página web, publicar algo en redes. Ahora, let's go with this ones. Now, deciding the thickness of the lines is one of those things that is quite tricky because it really does have its own psychology, how it forms, shape, and depth. So making good decisions about the thickness of the lines is really important to make sure that you can actually have a readable space, because if everything is about the same thickness of lines, well, in that case everything will just fight for the same level of attention. So we need to be sure to have a hierarchy about the thickness of the lines, and that part is quite tricky actually. Muchas gracias. Sí, sí, me dieron ganas de trabajar todo esto en tradicional, la verdad. De ese tiempo tenía ganas de empezar a hacer cosas más tradicionales y sentí que esto era como una oportunidad perfecta para hacerlo. ¿Cuántas páginas va a tener el manga en total? No tengo la menor idea. Va a ser una de esas historias considerablemente largas. Las cosas que te dice es que no deberías hacer cosas así de largas, pues así va a ser. Bueno, también es que esto no es mi primer intento de hacer esta historia, la verdad. Ya tengo varios intentos previos y ya he hecho varios cómics en el pasado. Entonces ya sé que tengo como que el nivel de consistencia necesario para sacarlo adelante. Porque al final el mayor problema siempre es la consistencia, poder mantener la energía para trabajar todo esto. Es triquiñuelo. So now I'm going to switch back again to the smaller one. I hope you can see these lines because they are quite thin actually. I should be using the ruler more, but I really like a bit of hand drawing movement in the background. If you could see me right now, because my stupid camera of the laptop decided to just stop working. I'm usually, when I'm very focused, I'm making this stupid faces movement with my mouth, and I always try to avoid doing them, but every time I just stop concentrating on not doing it, I will be doing it. And no matter what I do, I always start doing it again. Oh, well, and issue number one most likely will have 24 pages, I think. 23, 24, something like that. Hmm, hmm, hmm. This area is better to be filled a bit. ¿Te va a tomar tu tiempo entonces publicar tu trabajo? Sí, sí lo va a hacer. ¿Debes en algún punto que esto pueda tomar suficiente energía propia como para que dé suficiente dinero para que este se empiece a volver un poco más el ingreso principal? Pero yo sé que eso va a tomar bastante tiempo antes de que pueda pasar. Igual, esto es un tema de consistencia. Al final del día, trabajar en esto de cómics, en manga, esto es una maratón. Requiere energía de larga distancia. De otra manera me hubiese quedado trabajando como ilustrador. Pero cuando no le dan estas ganas de ponerse a dedicarse a hacer otra cosa, es difícil controlar la urgencia cuando eres artista. Uno se deja manejar un poco por el tema de la pasión, de las ganas. A ver cuánto. Oh, ya llevo media hora. Esta página cómo se tarda, ¿eh? Voy a tratar de acelerar un poquito más la mano. Estos movimientos de este tipo siempre me causan preocupación porque es complicado. Yeah, doing this kind of movements is nerve-wracking. Now let's go with the bridge. And just to make it consistently, I try to put at least 1 hour and a half to my personal work a day. That way I won't get behind so much. And the great thing about doing your own projects is that they also help you build portfolio. When you're looking for work and you don't have much body of work, doing this your own stuff helps you create that portfolio that you need. So it's a great way to just start doing your own thing. So also this panel is not going to be all that big in terms of size. Sorry, it's important for me to show the inner view of the place that they are living in. Is the kind of visualizations that it's a good show don't tell. Damn it. Okay, so a mistake over there. Well, it's impossible not to make mistakes when you're working traditionally, actually. That's why you need to have some white gouache or white ink at hand. Se cobra más trabajando en tradicional que en digital. Usually, sí, usualmente. Es la clase de cosas que cuando estamos hablando les doy la opción a mis clientes de querer trabajar las cosas en tradicional. A veces aceptan, a veces no. Y por supuesto les digo que trabajando en tradicional, pues el resultado va a ser visualmente ligeramente distinto y les voy a cobrar un poco más porque tengo que gastar en materiales, tengo que gastar más tiempo. Cosa que es extraña, pero por lo menos a la hora de entintado siento que soy más rápido en tradicional que en digital. No sé, tiene algo que ver con la visualización del espacio del movimiento. Creo que tengo como más control del espacio cuando lo hago en tradicional que cuando lo hago en digital. A pesar que tengo muchísimo más tiempo haciéndolo en digital, no me sale tan bien. Tengo que corregir mucho. En cambio, en tradicional, las ideas me fluyen mucho más rápidamente. Una cosa rarísima. Bueno. Another place I need to make amends. And another weird thing is that I've been doing a lot of inking right now lately, and now I'm kind of getting into the groove, into the zone with the inking. Really, really great. But at the same time, I'm struggling with colors. I need a lot more time to think and evaluate everything before I start to work in colors. I don't know why. Okay, so it's looking really nice. Making a place to have personality is all about the little details. To not make it look so flat. And I used to struggle a lot with making those little details. Like they wouldn't came to my imagination no matter what I tried, but the thing is that you need to be doing a lot of them so you can start to have a good library on your mind of details and what do you want to do with mm, with the cultural, I guess. The details will tell a lot about the culture that these people have. So having context for the place is really important to really be good at creating more details, more interesting details, actually. This is almost done. The the only thing I will be doing digitally, because it's very hard to make it on traditional media, is the half tones, because those, in the traditional way, the little paper sheets cost like €5, like $6, 1 or 2 pages, I think. And it's just not uh, not practical in terms of expenses. Maybe in the future, when this is making a life of its own, when I manage to get some momentum, some patrons, or something like that for the manga, I will think about it. But right now, it's not that feasible. So I will be doing the half tones in digital, and the text, because also that requires a really intense skill set to measure every line so it reads correctly. It's way too hard on traditional. Like, it's not like this is not hard, but at least I know how to do this. The other one, I will need to actually learn to do that, and nah, I prefer to do it digitally. Maybe when I start to take more time, I will start learning the skills of doing the bubble text in traditional media, but not right now. Okay, I just need to make sure I add some extra fields. I think it has a decent sense of depth. I will add some depth over here. Nothing like some good lines to add depth. Also, be sure to connect your lines because it's easy when you're working traditional that you don't connect the lines. And it's not like you need to connect them always, but it's really easy to almost not connect anything because the the way that you see it with the pencils, it's easy to think that the pencils are the inking. So you don't fill your lines until you rest the pencils, and then you realize that you really need to close a lot of the inks. Okay, so let's go with the next panel. I knew this page was going to take me some extra time because of that specific panel, but I can start working a little bit faster again. See what I mean? I was leaving a lot of space between the ink on the bottom, over here and over the edge, because it's easy to think that the pencils are your inking and closing the lines. You know what? Let's try out with the G pen. Let's make the G pen. Oh, I didn't clean it correctly last time. But nah, don't worry. No worries. I bought this little bottle of ink, India ink, and it should be good to go. Okay, so would you imagine that I just dropped this bottle of ink in the page? Ah, that will be hilarious. Let's see how it goes. Look at those lines. That's what I'm talking about. Do you hear that? That's so satisfying, that sound. The whoosh. Okay, this is extremely satisfying. It's so easy to make the little lines. Oof, damn, this looks so good. Now I can put back Lofi. Lofi, Lo-Fi. Guess everyone has its own way to call it. Oof, damn, it's looking nice. I will be doing some like lining over here, and I will jump back to previous panel, because if I let the ink dry on the G pen, it will be really hard to keep inking later. So I need to do this. Let's close the cap. This is number 5. Yeah, number 5 is good. Oh, right, my number 5 is running out of ink. I need a number 4. Okay, straight lines. That's good. Need to leave some time to just wait to dry it out. There you go. I can jump back to the other one. This is going to have a lot more extra details, but I need to think about them as I work on this other panel. I need to think what is going to be those details. It's looking good, yeah. Run out. Look at those lines. Those lines are so thin. Oh yeah, baby. Those are some really thin lines. So in these pages, I need to leave a considerable amount of space for the bubble text because they are going to be having a lengthy conversation. I need to take that into account with the art. And sometimes it's very tempting to just fill the whole space with drawings, but this is the thing about this kind of storytelling. You need to be really, really mindful. It's really starting to dry out the ink on the G pen. I have seen a lot of mangakas use a technique that they heat up the tip of the G pen to allow the ink to run more smoothly. This is because the G pen have like a coated oil that prevents the ink from sitting correctly on the pen, and this ink is to prevent rust, but also prevent the actual ink to run correctly. Aha. There you go. Okay, so I think I will leave it to this point. I already have 1 hour working on this page, and I need to go do some therapy workout, but actually it's therapy I need to do for my shoulder. This is the price you pay for working as an artist. Your body crumbles. It's inevitable. You spend so much hours doing some extremely repetitive work. It's impossible for the body not to suffer it. Heed my words, anyone is listening over there on the void of the internet. We all think that that is not going to happen to us, and we do not take care of our bodies, but it will happen. Never think that you do not take care of your body. Exercise, move around every so often, have a decently healthy meal most of the time. Heed my words. You will resent it. Your body will not think that you will not be affected by that. You will. You will. Okay. So this is it. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and see you again next time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in a couple of days. Bye.